Hey everybody, Old Guy here. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, really thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Mrs. Old Guy behind the camera. Homage to Mrs. Old Guy. Thank you for keeping me straight.
You're welcome.
So tonight I'm going to review some eggnog that I just picked up at the grocery store. And then I'm going to make some eggnog. Alcohol-free. Just because really I don't drink much, and so if I make it for Mrs. Old Guy and I'm gonna make it alcohol free. Anyway, so I got this Meadow Gold stuff. I don't know if you're in a part of the country that sells Meadow Gold products or not, but this is the kind that I chose. Let's just give it a try. We drank some of this at Thanksgiving, so it's not a full container. And first thing, visually, I like to see little bits of nutmeg in my eggnog, and of course this has just kind of got a sort of a yellowish sort of color to it. Let's try it. So it's a little thick for my taste. But it's not as thick as some of that you get at the store. Some of it is really almost too thick. So, or I'm not almost, it is too thick. So, anyway, back to this. We get the taste here. I really don't get any nutmeg until kind of the very end, and then I get that nutmeg kind of aftertone in my mouth. I kind of taste it, but not really. Sort of has kind of an artificial flavor. I'm not sure if it's vanilla or maybe some kind of preservative or something, but it has a real kind of a chemical kind of flavor to it. And I'm not really tasting the egg yolk or the egg. It's just kind of a creamy concoction. I mean, it's not bad. I did buy it and drink some at Thanksgiving, but I think I can do better. So we'll be back in a second over at the stove, and let's make a batch of homemade eggnog. Let's make some eggnog. Good stuff. Come on, over here, Mrs. Old Guy. 2 cups of milk. I'm going to get my burner on here to like a medium heat or so. 2 cups of milk. And a cup of cream. Yes. It's not a lot of stuff in homemade nutmeg. Not a lot in the homemade nutmeg. What am I making, Mrs. Old Guy?
Eggnog.
Eggnog. I'm going to add a half a cup of sugar to that. And I'm going to get this up to just at a boil, very slowly. I don't want to scald it. And then I'll start tempering in some egg yolks. I've got 6 of them here. Can you see that okay, Mr. Okay? Got 6 of them here, well beaten. And so when we get to that point, I'll be back. Okay, so it's just about there. A few more seconds. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of nutmeg and just a pinch of salt. Get that in. Alright. Now I'm going to take this hot mixture here. I'm going to start ladling this in about 1 ladle at a time into my egg yolks. Whisk it in real well. Try to temper these out. I don't want to end up with scrambled eggs at all. So I'm just going to kind of keep doing this. I'll keep repeating this until I get most of that into this bowl, and then I'll pour it back into the pan. So when I'm ready to do that, we'll be back. So I've got that all whisked in. Get that back into my pan here. Whoops, well that was clever.
Making a mess as always.
Thank you. It's my job. You gotta make a mess. So I'm gonna put it back on the heat, and I'm gonna, almost spilled that too. Got a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla that I'm gonna add in. Now, I just need to bring this back up to that same point, just about at boiling, and that'll be it. It'll be ready to cool down. So when we get to that point that I'm ready to take it off, we'll be back. Alright, so it's been about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. Been giving it a nice constant stir, and it's slightened ever so thick, ever so little. It will thicken more as it cools, so it's just a little bit thicker than it was when it was just the cream, or just the milk and stuff. So okay, I got the mess cleaned up and I washed out my bowl here, and I'm just going to pour that in here. We're going to let that cool down. So we'll be back, I don't know, in an hour or two, whenever this is nice and cool, and then we'll do a side-by-side. Okay, so this has had time to chill. I put it into this 2-quart jar just for convenience sake. And I'm going to pour a little bit of each one, and I'm going to compare them side by side. Okay. And while I'm pouring this, I'm just going to ask y'all to give Val over at Trippy Foods a check out. Link in the description down below. Great food reviews, fun guy to watch. Okay, so we've got them poured out. Miss Old Guy, can you get me in here and just kind of get a look at that? You can see the difference. You can actually see some nutmeg on the top there. And that's what I meant about actually visually seeing some nutmeg. Alright, so we'll start with this again. It still has that. Of course, it still tastes exactly the same. That kind of chemical flavor, along with the back end notes of some nutmeg in there, and sort of eggy, but not really. It is pretty creamy, but a little thicker than I like. So overall, I'd give it a, like, maybe if I had to go with 7 out or 1 to 10 scale, I guess I'd give it about a 6. So, all right, so we'll try some of this. It's a lot thinner, but not too thin. It's like kind of nice, like a nice, thick, rich hot cocoa or something. It's that kind of a creamy sort of feel. Definitely getting the nutmeg a lot better. You taste it right away. I got the eggs. It's really nice and creamy, of course, because of the cream. The only thing I'm going to say that it was kind of expensive to make, and the nutmeg is going to separate out. It's not going to stay emulsified in here like it is. It's going to, so I'm going to have to shake this up in order to keep that nutmeg flavor kind of going. So they both have their positives and their negatives. This is probably a little less expensive in the long run, but it doesn't taste as good. This is, I don't know, more expensive, but it tastes a lot better, and you kind of have to shake it up if you're going to drink it. But other than that, I think I'm going to go with this one. Homemade's always best, I guess. And if you wanted to add alcohol, hey, put you some booze in there and mix it up, and you got yourself your kind of eggnog, right? So I appreciate everybody watching. Eggnogs, good stuff to drink, holiday season. So, and there's one more thing. I'm going to ask you, get out in your local neighborhood, your local community, volunteer some time, do something good for somebody in the holiday. Okay. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time around.
Bye.